Shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Chakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that were well to this day. And also shalom to the whole elect that is laboring this work, that's giving you due diligence to make your calling and election sure, in faith and truth and sincerity, and also in all charity. Now, topic of this video is going to be entitled, "In famine, he will preserve thee." Okay, now the Spirit has it to where I titled this video differently. I'm going to move according to the Spirit. But, just want to bring out confident words concerning this current sequence of events, which is taking place here in the span of this so-called COVID-19 so-called crisis of COVID-19. In which, is setting off a sequence of events in which one of the events, or one of the key factors when it comes to this situation, not only are we heading into a digitized monetary system, but also as well is going to get to a point to where they're going to deem the food, there being a food shortage. All right. Now, one way or another, they may say that the food is contaminated by this virus, or they'll try to regulate the food because there's too many people that are stocking up and trying to gather resources or try to gather food for themselves, and to clean out the shelves, But all this that you're seeing that's happening right now, ultimately is going to lead up to the famine. All right. If you look into the history behind when famines occur, basically a famine is a shortage of food. All right. In which there's no food readily available to you. And in this case, the food is not going to be readily available to the people the way that they have been going about getting the food. You can go to a grocery store and foods. You have your shelves that are stocked to the brim. All right. And if you don't do that, then you can go by another store and they have food lined up. You got different stores because Walmart's not the only outlet. You got Walmart, Publix, all these different places, Costco, which and also as well Sam's Club, in which they branch from Walmart company. Sam's Club has a surplus that they have on sale, or they have a surplus to where they have it out readily available. Now, when it comes to buying food and resources, it's not going to be the same in the coming future. All right, that food is going to be regulated, and that's a part of complete control. That's really that falls in line with what the higher ups with Esau, these so-called elites, really want. They want total control. All right, on what you do, how you live, what you eat, and what you drink. Okay, and even your thoughts. And again, they're going to do that by way of the system which they are implementing, in which is going to be based off the microchip technology, which again is the mark of the beast. Okay, but in that day, which, like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, since this is deemed to be confident words, the elect of the nation of Israel, in which Lord's will, we're a part of that number. Us being a part of the hopeful elect, we're going to be protected in that day. We're going to be preserved from those perils, okay? And also be delivered out of certain situations to escape destruction, okay? Because that's one of the questions that we always get, is that, when these things happen, all right, and all hell breaks loose, and when these things do come to pass, where are we going to be? what are we going to do? Well, we're going to trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai, like the scriptures say. In Psalm it says, some trust in horses and some trust in chariots, but we will remember the name of Yahweh Shemel Shai, because the name of the Most High is a strong tower, and the righteous run into it and it's safe, like it also says in the scripture. Okay. But first I want to go ahead and grab Ezekiel chapter 14. I'm going to start at verse 13. It says, Son of man, when the land sinneth against me by trespassing grievously, then will I stretch out mine hand upon it, and will break the staff of bread thereof, and will send famine upon it, and will cut off man and beast from it. Right? And this land, America, which is Babylon the Great in the scriptures, in the Bible, this land has greatly sinned. All right? And it is also, not only that, it's also trespassed grievously. Okay? Because America is full of wickedness, where there's no place to go. You can't get away from it. Okay? So with that being said, of course, this has got to come to pass. The Lord's going to stretch out his hand upon this land, America, and will break the staff of bread. Now, the bread represents the food, okay? And that staff represents its support, okay? So the food industry, in what you see right now, is going to be a transition, okay? So no longer, in the coming days, it's going to be no longer to a point where you can just walk into the store and get whatever you want. No, it's going to get to a point in time where now that has to be rationed off to you, okay? And imagine, it may sound small to the regular person. Will say, well, if they ration food, then that's it's whatever. But you have roughly over 1 billion people that are here in America, okay? And when you talk about rationing off food to over 1 billion people, that's not a lot, man. Okay? That's not a lot of food to be rationed off. And guess what that's going to lead to? That's going to lead to anarchy. One people against another. Like it says in 2 Ezra, the 15th chapter. It's going to be a total chaos in society, man. All right? And again, we're going to be delivered from that, man, if we continue in the faith. Okay? Lord's will, we're part of the hopeful elect. Okay? Now, move on from there. Get the book of 1 Kings, chapter 17, because again, like I said before, we're gonna be delivered from that peril, the peril of famine. And these are a few of the examples of how the Lord delivered certain men out of destruction. All right, and this is Slaki. This is 2 Kings. I don't know why I'm in 2 Kings. I should be in First Kings. 1 Kings 17. All right, it's 1 Kings chapter 17, verse 4. It says, and it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Now, this is talking about Elijah, okay? In which Elijah, actually, I'm starting at verse 3. It says, get thee hence and turn thee eastward and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, which is before Jordan. And it shall be that thou shalt drink of the brook, and I have commanded the ravens to feed thee there. Right. So the Lord in this case took care of Elijah when he told them to flee. Okay. So if the Lord took care of Elijah in that day, when Elijah was basically escaping for his well, actually, Slakia. Let me start at verse 1. I know I'm all over the place. Slakia. It says, and Elijah the Tishbite, who was of the inhabitants of Gilead, said unto Ahab, as the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai, the power of Israel, liveth, before whom I stand, there shall not a dew nor rain these years, but according to my word. And the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai came unto him, saying, get thee hence, and turn thee eastward, and hide thyself by the brook Cherith, that is before Jordan. So, as Elijah told Ahab, which was the king of Israel during that time, was that there shall not be dew nor rain those years. Okay. So in other words, a famine was supposed to come, because when you have a shortage of water, or like in this case, dew or rain, all right, those crops are not getting any sort of water or hydration, so those crops die, all right, which causes a famine. So the Lord told Elijah to flee away from that particular land and go to the brook, which is Cherith, which is before Jordan, and the Lord's going to take care of them and sustain them there with the waters from that brook, all right, and command the ravens to feed them, all right. So guess what? The same situation that was during that time, at the time of Elijah, is going to be indicative and similar to the times that we're coming in today, or in the coming future. All right, it's going to be a shortage of food and a shortage of water, and the Lord's going to set it up to where it's going to be certain situations to where we're going to be taken care of. Okay, as the Lord commanded the ravens to feed Elijah, guess what? The Lord's going to have it to where we have food readily available for us, man. All right. The Lord can do that. And the Lord's not going to leave his servants to die in the perils or the coming perils. Okay. It says, reading out verse 5, it says, so he went and did according unto the word of the Lord Yahweh Bashmel Shai, for he went and dwelt by the brook Cherith, that was before Jordan, and the ravens brought him bread and flesh in the morning, and bread and flesh in the evening, and he drank of the brook. So he was getting fed daily. All right, from the morning he got fed, and then in the evening he got fed. All right. So, yep. So I'm gonna continue on, right? It says in verse 7, it says, and it came to pass after a while that the brook dried up, because there had been no rain in the land. And the word of the Lord, Yahweh Bashmel Shai, came unto him, saying, arise, get thee to Zarephath, which belongeth to Zidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a widow woman there to sustain thee. See, so it went from him dwelling there to where he was being sustained by the brook and the ravens. He went from there to get himself onto a widow woman so that she is able to sustain him. All right, see that? So there's no need for me to continue, man. That goes to show you that the Lord knows how to deliver the righteous out of destruction and temptation, man. Okay. Now I'm going from there. Get the book of Luke. See, Luke chapter 12, verse 24. All right, it's the book book of Luke chapter 12 verse 24, it says, "Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouse nor barn, and the Most High feedeth them. How much more are ye better than the fowls?" So, and also as well, man, the Lord commanded the ravens to feed Elijah, right? And he said that the ravens, that they don't sow nor reap, and they don't have storehouse or a barn to go and gather their food to. But the Most High is able to feed them. All right. So it said, how much are you better than the fowls? How much more are you? How much better are you than the ravens? All right. Case in point, in Elijah's case. All right. Elijah the prophet. So the Lord took care of Elijah, which is a prophet. Then the Lord's gonna take care of the rest of the prophets. All right. I'm gonna move on from there. I'm gonna get the book of Bel and the Dragon. It's like it. It's Bel and the Dragon. It's only one chapter long. And I'm gonna get verse 34. I want to grab a quick point in this chapter. All right, this is we'll start at verse 33. This is the book of Bel and the Dragon, chapter 1, verse 33. It says, "Now there was in Jewry a prophet called Habakkuk." See, and we read about Habakkuk. All right. It's like you. Went through a utility zone, Slakia. So again, this is concerning Habakkuk, right? So it says, "Who had made pottage and had broken bread in a bowl and was going into the field for to bring it to the reapers." So he was basically making bread, and he was making food, making up some food for his servants, right? Or for the reapers, okay? Which Slakia, I'm not sure those was his servants or not, but he was making up some food to bring to the reapers, in which reapers are out in the field, they're out in the hot sun, reaping the fields, right? Verse 34 says, "But the angel of the Lord said unto Habakkuk, Go, carry the dinner that thou hast into Babylon unto Daniel, who was in the lion's den." So the Lord said, look, instead of bringing it to the reapers, take it to Daniel, who was in the lion's den in Babylon. Okay. And Habakkuk said, "Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is." Okay. So Habakkuk don't even know where Babylon is. All right. Because he never saw Babylon before. He's never been there. All right. Neither does he know where that den is. That one specific den where Daniel is. All right. Or Daniela. Verse 35, it says, "And Habakkuk said, Lord, I never saw Babylon, neither do I know where the den is." Verse 36, "Then the angel of the Lord took him by the crown and bare him by the hair of his head, and through the vehemency of his spirit sat him in Babylon over the den." So in a split second, that angel that grabbed Habakkuk by the crown of his head, all right, in which with vehemency, all right, which vehemency means to be vehement means to be rough, all right. So he grabbed him by the crown of his head and he teleported him over to the den, man. All right, which goes to show you that, look, this is spiritual power at work, all right. So the angel took him by the crown of his head, teleported him towards the lion's den, put him over the lion's den and Babylon, all right. Verse 37 says, "And Habakkuk cried, saying, O Daniel, take the dinner which the Most High has sent thee. And Daniel said, Thou hast remembered me, O my power. neither hast thou forsaken them that seek thee and love thee. And that's true. All right. The Lord's not going to forsake the ones that seek him and love him, man. All right. So the Lord can have it to where you'll have somebody bring you food. Okay. Just how he did with Habakkuk. He grabbed Habakkuk, teleported him toward the den, the lion's den, and then gave Daniel the food. Okay. All right. So that's it on that. Want to move on from there. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna run through these real quick. This is Ezekiel chapter 4. I'm going to start at verse 16. It says, Moreover, he said unto me, Son of man, behold, I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem. All right, which again, that staff represents support or stability. I will break the staff of bread in Jerusalem, and they shall eat bread by weight and with care. All right, again, rations. Okay, and they shall drink water by measure and with astonishment, that they may want bread and water and be astonished one with another and consume away for their iniquity. So a part, 2/3 of our people are going to consume away in that famine, okay, for their iniquity, for their transgression, okay. Moving on from there, I want to grab the book of Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. It says, When I shall send upon them the evil arrows of famine, which shall be for their destruction, and which I will send to destroy you, I will increase the famine upon you, and will break your staff of bread. So will I send upon you famine and evil beasts, and they shall bereave thee, and pestilence and blood shall pass through thee. And I will bring the sword upon thee. I, the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem El-Shai, have spoken it. Okay. And those evil arrows of famine are going to be sent to destroy 2/3 of our people. Okay. This is Jeremiah chapter 19, verse 9. It says, And I will cause them to eat the flesh of their sons and the flesh of their daughters, and they shall eat every one the flesh of his friend in the siege and straightness, wherewith their enemies and they that seek their lives shall straiten them. Okay. So cannibalism is going to make a comeback in this time. All right. Just how it was back during the time of Masada. Okay. If you remember 7 AD, when our people were chased out of the land of Israel, and some of them were made to dwell, or the rest that survived was made to dwell in at Masada. All right. And they died of starvation. And guess what? That you had Israelites that were in Masada that ate their sons and daughters. All right, for hunger. Okay. And guess what? You're going to see that again. All right. You're going to see cannibalism come back in a big way. Okay. And once again, only the elect of the nation of Israel, and 1/3, they're going to be delivered in that day. So I'm going to go ahead and end off on that note. Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. Till next time, once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem El-Shai, Ba'ashem B'Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day. Shalom, peace and safety, and salutations to the hopeful elect that is laboring his work as well. Giving your diligence to make your call and election sure, spreading this ministry and this gospel to the other members of the hopeful elect in faith and truth and sincerity and all charity. And with that, go to Shalom.